So you know the ones when you're listening to a song that you really like and you're like, that's my tune.
That's my tune.
Hey, I'm Jojo B and this is That's My Tune, the podcast providing song reviews and interviews. Today I'll be interviewing Damention regarding the production of Narelle's single called Planted. So enjoy the track, and remember, if you're listening via YouTube, the link of the song is in the description box. I'll be right back after this. So everybody, I'd like to introduce you to Damention. Hey!
Yo.
What's good?
Yo, thank you for having me.
No problem. It's like I've been trying to get you for a while and it's finally happened.
I know. Yeah, we're finally on the same time zone. So
yeah, I can imagine.
Thank you for having me on.
No problem. Speaking of time zones, I hear a twang, a nice American twang. So I'd like you to go. I can hear you're a London boy. You're a London boy, yes, but I can hear London twang. So please, let's explore that first.
Definitely. Where do you want to start?
You're clearly a Londoner, but you have an American accent. So tell me how that's come about.
I mean, I don't know if I have an American accent, but
I can hear it. It's there.
Well, yeah, I was born in Hackney, Homerton Hospital, quite a famous hospital, London. Literally everyone was born there. And in terms of America, I moved to America the beginning of January 2016. So I've been living for about 6.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
That's the reason for the little twang. And I live in Dallas.
Okay.
It's southern and cultured and not around a lot of British people, if I'm honest.
Yeah, of course.
And so after a while, you just want to be, I guess, understood. You assimilate.
Yeah.
Without even realizing.
Yeah.
I mean, out there, I still kind of stick out like a sore thumb, to be honest.
I can imagine.
Brit, but obviously, speaking to a Londoner or anyone from the UK, they can hear the change. But out there, I can't really hear in my accent because obviously I'm hearing myself next to actual Americans. So now that I'm currently in the UK, hearing myself next to Londoners and people from the UK, then I can now hear it.
You've been indoctrinated. Oh my god. So what made you decide to move to Dallas?
Do you know what? It was a life move. I wanted to experience living somewhere else.
Okay.
I have a uncle there, his brother, who happens to be just about 8 years older than me. So he's close to my age than he is to my mother.
Right.
And I was 25 at the time. I just wanted to live and move somewhere else. And it wasn't really a career move, but more of a life move. I was just having a hard time being in London, just more for personal reasons than anything. So I just wanted to move to kind of start afresh. And the rest was history. So that was the reason for the move.
Okay. So do you sometimes miss London? Because I know living in the States is completely different in so many different ways.
Yeah. I mean, living in each state in America is different. But do I miss London? I miss people. Yeah. And before I came, obviously, this is my first time being back in London in 4 years. So I didn't. Now that I've been back for a couple of months, would I move back?
Yeah.
Not willingly.
Oh wow! Yeah. So he doesn't want to be part of us anymore. It's cool, isn't it? It's cool.
No, I'll always be of London and UK, but I guess for me, like I said, I moved at 25.
Right.
So the time I moved, I was becoming a man.
Yeah.
So even though I was raised in London, America is where I became a man for me.
Right.
So it's now a part of my identity, particularly my manhood and my adulthood. I've done most of my adulting, and a lot of the things that you do as an adult has happened for me in America. And even coming back here, and, this is a long stay that I have. the version of life that I had before is gone.
Mm,
I wasn't, for example, I wasn't married. I wasn't a father. I wasn't living.
mm.
Those are things that are reality now.
Wow.
So for me, London is, in my heart, because that's uh, from where I was, cultured.
Yeah.
Where I was raised, and I love London, but definitely, and then I don't like the cold weather anymore. Uh,
Yeah.
my what's the word? I can no longer stand the cold for too much
I
now.
can imagine. Yeah.
So no, I love London,
Mm,
definitely.
yeah.
The States is uh where I've chosen to be
Yeah.
home.
Mm. And that's absolutely fine. We're all allowed to explore and try different new things. And
For sure.
yeah. But we're here to talk about the music. So we'll talk about family life in just a moment. But I'd
Okay.
like to explore your music. So recently you worked with an artist called Narelle. Is that how you pronounce it?
Correct. Yep, yep, yep.
Right. And her single Planted. So I'd like to know the role that you played in that single.
Okay, in that single, I produced, recorded, mixed, and mastered the song.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I had quite an involvement.
You pretty much did everything apart from write it, like, or were you involved in the writing process too?
Oh no, no, no. That was what
Okay, okay,
worked on that song quite a while ago, actually.
okay.
Rail happened to be one of the few first people who I started working with when I
Hmm.
moved to America, and when
Okay.
I actually doing it. So me and Rail have been working for the better part of 4 years.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
Rail is an amazing singer and
Hmm.
a background singer for many major artists like Rihanna, to,
Hmm.
to name a few.
Hmm.
And Ella May, she's toured with Ella May. She's
Nice.
done Super Bowl. She's done Grammys. You know,
Wow.
that's Norel.
Mm.
And yeah, she's one of those people who, when there's a major event, she's one of
Hmm.
the first names on the list when it comes to background vocals.
Mm.
So I've had the privilege of starting her solo journey with her.
Mm.
Doing
That is really
songs
cool.
with her and projects with her.
Yeah.
Came out last year. So
Mm.
Haunted is a song from that project.
Right.
Yeah, that we did together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yep,
That's
yep.
that's amazing. But the coolest part is, like, I just found out that it's actually Planted is actually in a placement, like, is in sync with a series called All American Homecoming. Now, how do you feel about that?
Yep, yep. It's like it was really good. It
Yeah.
was when she told me that. Actually, I think she just told me last week that that was gonna happen. I was really happy.
Yeah.
Uh, we've had a placement with this song before
Right.
on a ET show. The name eludes me now. Uh,
Mm.
I know something that I think Laura London was in.
Okay. I think
Games.
it's games people play probably.
Yes. So the song was placed on that show for the
Okay.
I can't remember, maybe that was 2019,
Mm.
around, so but I work so much that there's a lot that I do, and there's a lot that I should celebrate that
Yeah.
I don't get the chance to, but because this has happened while I'm
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
life is moving a bit slower for me here.
Right. Mm.
I have the time and space to actually kind of just enjoy the
Mm.
small. So I'm
Mm.
really happy about this one. Yeah, and this is a
Mm.
show that I actually watched. So I've had some placements before on shows that I don't really watch. And
Right.
I'm watching it out of context, but watching it when it's a show you actually watch
Yeah.
it's definitely special.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. So, like, how did you get into music production? I'm guessing you're a musician as well. So, how did you get into that
Yeah,
world?
yeah. So obviously I grew up as a musician. Drums is my first instrument,
Right.
and moved on to keys later,
Mm-hmm.
my teens,
Mm-hmm.
and just grew up playing in the church, like a lot of the great
Yeah.
musicians and singers.
Yeah.
Church was where I that was my school. Fast forward to uni, I that was the first time getting a MacBook. 2008 was my
Nice.
first year of uni,
Yeah.
and that's 2008 September is what I credit as beginning my production and engineering journey.
Okay.
As a producer, as an engineer. That's when I got my first MacBook using student loan.
I hear that, man. Yeah, I hear that.
Speakers, MIDI keyboard, and interface.
Right. Yeah.
And it was a time where they were just starting to make consumer products for the studio, but consumer versions. That it was just so expensive to buy music creation software, tools, and stuff like that. And MacBooks were beginning to get cheaper as well, or relatively cheaper. And yeah, so that was the start of the journey. And I happened to be studying media technology.
Okay.
But after I finished that degree, obviously by then I was known on the London scene, on the London, I guess UK gospel scene more so.
Right.
Initially, and I was pretty much a beat maker, and I was sending beats out to people, and mainly rappers more so. Nothing really came of it, although the first person to actually record to a song I did was a singer called Rachel Carr. Amazing singer.
Yes.
She's the first person that whoever sent me something I produced and sent like vocals to it.
Wow.
I don't know if you remember that feeling of producing something and or you like the feeling you produce something and then just hear somebody sing on it that first time. So for me, that was the first time for me. That was Rachel Kerr. And then from then it was just, I was still known as the beat maker. But I wanted to learn more and do more. I had a situation where the artist wasn't happy with the outcome of their song. They had gone to another studio to record it and to kind of tie things up. And it kept on happening where I would create the music and the singers would go, because then you still went to a studio.
Right. Yeah.
And they just weren't happy. And then they didn't feel like they could communicate what they wanted, because then going to the studio was kind of daunting for many people. Yeah. So what that did for me was like, man, I really want to learn how to do more when it comes to doing the whole journey. Right. Between the beginning of a song. Yeah. Right. So I joined SAE, London, School of Audio Engineering, London. Right. And got a degree there. And that was really what I guess honed in on my, the skills I'd learnt myself. That kind of, and then also in terms of the engineering side, definitely I guess that degree was my transition of being just let me not say just from being a maker to a producer / engineer. Yeah. That was where, and I finished that in 2015. And the first project that I did, where I actually like produced, recorded, mixed, and mastered, a singer called Christina Matovu.
Yeah, backing vocalist for Burna Boy. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see I've been around some great people. And we've come up together. So it's so great to see people like, Rachel Carr, Christina. Yeah,
doing their thing. Yeah.
So and there was another singer, Juliet Hudson, that I worked with that year as well. Decent singer as well, and songwriter. So those are the two projects that I did where I was now doing the whole, process. Yeah. And moving to America months after that. Yeah. Was where I really kind of spread my wings. And that's another chapter entirely in terms of my development. which if you want, we can go into.
mm.
That is the journey of me becoming a producer, which obviously happened in the UK. That's chapter 1, I would say. Chapter 2, yeah, 2016 January up until now.
Yeah.
That's chapter 2, and that's America, where most of what I'm known for has been done while I'm in America, and the majority of artists that I have worked with are Americans.
Right. Yeah, would make sense. Yeah. Wow. That's an amazing story, an amazing chapter 1. That's a really amazing thing. But the last thing I'd like to touch on before we go is family life. So you're married, you have 2 very cute children, a son and a daughter. So tell us about being a family man, how you're balancing like the music and being a family man.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful. My idea of success has always been a happy home and a happy family. Especially for me, I come from a quote unquote broken home.
Yeah.
So there's so many ways you can take that. You can say to yourself, man, I don't want to ever get married.
Yeah.
Or you can say that, you know what, I want to create something that I didn't have for myself.
Yeah.
And for me, that has always been a goal for me, which is why, 6 months into moving to America, I went back to propose to my then, girlfriend.
Yeah.
To kind of just solidify things. So for me, balancing both, I guess, work life, music and family life is, I guess, it's something every family man has to do.
Right.
But even more so when you work in an industry that's quite volatile in terms of schedule and traveling.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I am not an artist.
Yeah.
Artists, I think, have it worse. They have it worse. Me, for the most case, having a studio, knowing that I'm coming back home is good. I am now about to get into a stage where I'm starting to travel more and move about more, which is great because of the opportunities. But we're about to enter a new, I guess, stage of balance, family life when it comes to me traveling to different parts of the world to work. But for me, it's always family first. Some weeks are good. Some weeks I'm totally terrible at balancing it.
Yeah.
But the goal is always for family to be first and to create memories with family and friends, and not to be known as, the studio rat, as much as I love making music. But my desire is to be that friend and that the father and husband that people can still call on if they need something, not to say, oh man, let's not call him because he's going to be busy. So that's always my goal, to make sure that I'm balancing that well.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate
You're welcome. No problem. Any future projects you can tell us about, like anything that you're working on where there's no NDAs involved?
Man, do you know what? I work on so many, my studio, New Damention Studios.
Yeah.
Plug. We specialize in, creating a home for independent artists. So a lot of the projects and stuff that I work on the day-to-day are independent artists, people who are working a 9 to 5 to make their dreams happen.
Right.
So a lot of what I'm doing now is managing the projects that come through my studio in Fort Worth, Texas, Dallas, Texas, as well as working on people like Ajani. Ajani sings for Her. So we're working on music while we're trying to. So she's somebody who I have to meet. She's touring right now.
Yeah.
They're touring with Coldplay. So she's somebody who, for example, we're working on music and I have to kind of fly out to certain spots in Europe to tie things up. And there are other artists like that who I have to, it's very fluid in terms of how we're working right now. Right. Which is the joys of, doing what I do. Yeah. But aside from that, I work on many talented independent artists currently, probably about 11 right now that I'm personally, and even more when it comes to the projects coming through my studio, of which I act as an executive producer on those projects, and I guess mentoring the other producers that work at my studio,
right,
and partnering with them also, because they're talented people, and they've, I'm grateful that they've chosen my studio to be, you know, their own, and a place for that they feel that they can grow and learn something from me. Whereas trying to create something that I didn't have as a producer coming up. So for me, that's where my passion is and lies, and what I'm working on every day and every week right now.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So where can people connect with you on social media?
On social media, Instagram, Mr. Damention. That's MrDamention. And same on Twitter. And then my business, my studio is New Dimension Studios on what's it called? Instagram.
Right.
Yep. And then New Dimension Studios on Facebook as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we're trying to keep it going.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm so glad we got to chat.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
After so long.
Well, you have a great rest of the day, and we'll speak soon.
Yes, you too. Thank you so much.
All right, then. Bye.
Bye.
And that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for your time, Dami Damention. What a wonderful chat. If you'd like to know more about this podcast, you can go on linktr.ree/TMT_podcast. You'll find Spotify, YouTube, and all the social media. If you'd like to email, it's that'smytunepodcast@gmail.com. I'll be back with another episode soon. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. Bye. Bye.